first thing to remember when you're getting marks like that out is not to make it worse. So don't put a lot of solvent on it. If it's a marker pen, which it looks like it probably is, then you're looking at probably isopropyl alcohol. If it's biro, then it's methylated spirits. Get a little bit on a cotton bud, not much. What you want to do, you don't need to get the upholstery fabric damp with the solvent, or because that will dissolve the ink and it will spread, and a little stripy mark will end up into a big ring. Working so that it's kept really dry, just gently rub the tip of the cotton bud along the mark. And if the ink comes off, you've got the right solvent. Then transfer to a cloth. A bit of old toweling is actually quite good, and that looks like velvet or velour, so don't work like that because you'll ruck it up. Just work in the direction of the pile. Keep everything dry so that you want to transfer the ink on the dry upholstery to the damp piece of toweling that you're using. Go slowly, go gently, don't use too much solvent because you'll spread the stain. Once you've done it, you might think you want to wash that cover. Hopefully it's so new you won't, but if you do, a tip. Never wash upholstery on anything but very cool, because even if it's something like Draylon, synthetic velvet, and it won't shrink, in that piping is usually cotton cord, and that shrinks for a pastime. So always wash it cool, never tumble dry it. When it comes out the machine, you stretch it to shape, especially that piping. Pull it back. You can sometimes hear it crack and move, don't worry. Pull it back, leave it to dry, put it back on before it's completely dry. Put it back on when it's damp, because it will stretch to shape much better. And a pro tip here, especially if you've got little ones, the inside cushion, put it into a bin liner. It will slide into the cover really easily, and you'll be able to adjust it so it's completely straight and square on those corners. And then you leave the bin liner in place. It will crunch for the first 24 hours. Every time you sit down, it will crunch, and then it will stop. And the reason you do that is because if next week you spill a cup of tea, instead of the tea soaking through and getting the actual cushion itself wet and horrible and smelly and mouldy, it won't be able to reach the cushion. So you can whip the cover off really easily, rinse it in the washing machine and pop it back on nice and straight and square. And like I said, all of my cushions, apart from my new sofa, because I haven't taken the cushions off yet, are always they permanently live in bin liners. It just saves so much effort over the years.